Okay, Josh. Okay, Daniel, you're looking good right here, okay? So we got no problems with, just keep them above the waistband. The waistband and above, you can work all night, no problem at all, okay? Don't go lower than that. Remember, guys, protect yourself at all times.
Night.
Go! Stay up, Josh, stay up.
It's the final fight on our undercard as we head towards the Jesse Hart-Gilberto Ramirez rematch here in Corpus Christi. Eric Rothman, Christina Poncher, and WBO Trainer of the Year Brian Bomac McIntyre here with you at the America Bank Center. As Joshua Don't Blink Greer Jr., who brings a pillow embroidered with the words "Night Night" to the ring with him for every fight. He's always gunning for that knockout.
You know, I had to have him break it down because he's got like 3 different names. I said, can you explain this to me, what's going down? So this is how he broke it down to me. He said, Don't Blink is the nickname.
Okay.
Night Night is my slogan.
Okay. And
the shirt all week that said, Mr. Do That is the theme because I'm going to do that to him on Friday night. So that's the breakdown. But he's going with Don't Blink as the nickname.
Okay. Well, that nickname
Just
came
for some clarity.
That nickname came after he knocked out Antoine Robertson in 24 seconds and somebody said if you blinked, you missed the fight. And Greer moves quickly, and when he sees an opportunity, he pounces. And Bomac, he is flashy with his attire, but he's flashy with those fists as well.
Yeah, he's real fast, man. I watched it one fight before, and like you said, he got him out of there in 24 seconds. Man, this kid got fast hands, and he got power with it too. But don't get Lozano, don't get him wrong, man. This dude can fight a little bit. He'll bring the fight to you, just like he just called Greer right there with a left hook.
Well, Lozano is a 10-year pro. He's a Golden Glove silver medalist back in 2008. He's 5-5 in his last 10 fights, coming off a loss where he lost his WBO Latino bantamweight title to Ricardo Rodriguez in what was an upset. Lozano was favored in that fight. He is the underdog here in this one against Greer.
This is Greer's second fight under the Top Rank Promotions banner. So, you know, he got that first fight and that little bit of that pressure out of the way, and he feels real comfortable. He feels at home, and he even told Lozano on the scales, or after they weighed him, he said, no, you had a Top Rank show. This is my show. I'm running this. But Lozano knows, too, the caliber of card that he's fighting on tonight, and he'd like to show a little something about what he's about in front of a big-name promoter.
This crowd at the America Bank Center has filled out, getting ready for our main event. A lot of people here to see Greer as well. He's earning a name in the boxing world.
Don't blink.
Don't blink. The knockout of the year last year against James Smith. Will he have the knockout of the year to finish 2018 against Daniel Lozano?
Go!
Well, and Christina Joshua has talked about it. He wants to own this division. He wants to own boxing. He's very audacious in his goals. But these are the type of fights you have to put on your resume to earn those bigger fights.
Oh, sure. And, I mean, these titles matter because if you keep saying, like, I'm ready for a title, I want to fight for a title, it's kind of like, what have you done?
Right.
You know, what is your path to get there? And he's ranked right now, I think, number 7 by the IBF at 118 pounds. So he's working his way up into some of the top 20, top 10 rankings, hopefully. But every fighter's goal is to get an opportunity to fight for a world title. And at 18-1-1 with 10 knockouts, and now with I think the right promoter to be able to put him in a situation to do so, he's just got to kind of go out there and look impressive and set the table for himself because everything else is out there on the line.
Well, I know you covered Joshua closely since he's moved over to Top Rank. What stands out to you about his personality and the way he approaches the fight game?
he's just confident. Like, he just oozes that confidence. And at, 24 years old, I think that everything's coming together just at the right time in his career. Just kind of how everything's flowed, the things that he's kind of gone through in his personal life and where his team and they are right now. Everything just seems to be clicking along the right path. And I think that's a lot to where his confidence comes from, because he just puts the trust in God and says, hey, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now.
Comes with a couple overhand rights. You mentioned his background, grew up in Chicago. His father was murdered when he was 6 months old. Started getting into drugs and crime and was nearly killed in a shooting in Chicago. And his mother and grandmother basically said, you got to turn this around. You got to find something to give your life meaning. And he found boxing, and he has given his all to this sport with high aspirations.
Lozano just don't have nothing for Greer.
No response.
No resistance or nothing. His hand speed is just out this world.
Well, you see the speed in Greer fights has frozen opponents. They don't know how to handle.
And Bomac, if you're going against a guy like that, you know that he's just naturally a better athlete and more gifted. How do you kind of counteract that speed? What can you do to take that away?
What you try to do, you get timing. And Lozano, he has done it before in the previous round. First time in this round with the hook, he timed you. Then you try to go to the body, try to take a little bit of that speed away from the faster fighter. Let the air out of his lungs.
Lozano connects, working in the pocket with that overhand left. Greer really holding that right against his chin, waiting to strike. That's his power punch. The overhand right. People remember personalities. People remember faces that stand out in the crowd more than they do the results of fights. You fight a lot of times in your career, but if you can stand out as a personality, that's the difference.
One thing fans do remember is knockouts.
That's right.
Yeah, that too.
And everybody always wanted to get the best knockout of the year.
And that's going to be a nice feather in his cap as he continues to move up the rankings, that he has one of those.
You see how that left hook Lozano just threw after Greer comes in with the right hand, and he timed it just perfect.
Block that jab. Block that jab.
You can see Greer's throwing that little jab to the gut, the midsection. He's setting it up for the right hand over top. I will tell you that.
Greer got tagged on the counter as Lozano starts to make a move. Greer, a big smile on his face. When you see your fighter smiling, Bomac, after he gets popped, what does that mean?
To me, two things. You hurt me, or okay, nice punch.
Credit where credit is due.
You got one. But something, Bo, you talked about in the last fight with Gabe Flores is waiting for him to get that grown man strength, to develop that. Now, if you look at Greer's record with 18 wins, 10 by knockout, that strength, that's come in his last 5 fights where he's gotten 5 of those 10 knockouts. He's really starting to come into his body and stuff at 24 years old now than he was earlier in his career in his early 20s.
He's turning into a man.
Yes, he wasn't getting those knockouts. That's something that he's kind of developed over time.
And he's working that jab really nicely here in round number 3.
I like how Greer's in there. He's relaxed. He's working behind his jab. He's setting the right hand up.
And we've seen here through 3 rounds now that he's not opposed to playing defense when necessary. He's calmed down. He's not as aggressive as he was in round number 1. And Lozano's popped him a couple times, but Greer has done a good job of keeping his feet moving.
I mean, you got 10 rounds, you got 30 minutes, so you can't just be out there rushing it. You don't want to get fatigued. You don't want to box yourself out, get tired. Nice right hand by Greer right over the top. Just that speed that got him.
Greer has had a couple of fights in his career scheduled for 10 rounds, but none has gone the distance. He's gone 8 rounds a couple of times. His last fight, as we mentioned, was a 3rd round knockout at the Oracle Center in Oakland, California.
I like Greer's jabs, pistol-like. Keep it stiff.
He snaps it back, too.
Oh, yeah.
Each fighter landing with a few power punches in round number 3. Lozano seemed to find his stride midway through the round, but it's Greer, Navarrete-Lopez, and Arnold Barbosa Jr. for the junior super lightweight NABF title coming up in the co-main event. And then the Jesse Hart, Gilberto Ramirez rematch for the WBO super middleweight world title in the finale here in a good night of Top Rank Boxing on ESPN+. We'll see if these middle rounds is where Joshua Greer starts separating himself from Lozano, because first 3 rounds he's landed some nice punches, but it seems like it's more of a feeling out process more than anything else.
And I think that, you know, as he's been getting these knockouts in his last 5 fights, and you know, a lot of people have been calling him for the night and whatnot, but he is purely a boxer puncher. You know what I mean? He's not a brawler, and he's not a KO artist. That's not in his nature. They have come because he's developed his strength, but he's a boxer and a boxer puncher first.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you that.
Yeah, and he's a guy who is getting his work in too. This is his 4th fight in 2018. So more fights you accumulate, you can work on one or two things each fight, and you have 4 fights in a year. You become a pretty well-rounded fighter. As Lozano with a combination under the 2-minute mark here in round number 4.
I like the way Greer just, you know, he just walk a little bit, he'll throw his jab a little bit, and he'll feint a little bit, you know, just giving him a mix of kind of doing something every time that they get ready to engage, which is important for a young fighter. Can't keep doing the same thing.
Good uppercut with the right by Greer. Now an overhand right as Lozano was trying to clinch. And Greer was having none of that. Leading with that straight right. Bomac, one thing that you watch Greer round after round, his form, his style is very consistent.
Oh, yeah.
And he's good with his defense. He's pretty slick with it, too. I mean, we don't talk about defense a lot. We talk about counterpunching, I feel like, more than we talk about defense. But he slipped right under a lot of these punches. He's got pretty good head movement. He leads with that shoulder defense. But he doesn't get hit too much.
Greer, I like the way he's boxing. He's, you know, a lot of his punches, you know, they're really quick. But he's setting something up for the next thing that he'll do. Like he'll throw a little small jab at the gut, then he'll throw a fast right hand to the head with a left hook.
Always thinking 1, 2, 3 steps ahead.
He set it up first with the slow jab down to the body.
And then when you get really to the elite level, you know what your opponent's going to do 2 or 3 steps before he does it, because you're able to just time him. And I think that he has that ability too, because his defense is really slick.
Lozano not able to find Greer at all in this 4th round as Greer gets inside with an overhand right, finishes with a flurry and stares down Lozano as he walks back to the corner.
Watch the speed of Greer. Bop, bop, oh, to the head, to the body. Take this with you on your way back to the corner.
It seems like, Bomac, that if you're going up against Greer, you have a lot to think about.
Yeah, you definitely do, because he mixes his punches up. And he got speed on him. He'll slow him down. What they call in the gym, change the rhythm of it. And I like that, how he'll throw a slow jab to the body, then he'll come right back upstairs with a quick 1-2.
And his speed in this fight has not allowed Lozano to get too many combinations off at all.
He's just having a hard time trying to time him and trying to figure something out, because he doesn't just stand right there. He lands his punches and gets right back out like you just saw. 1, 2, 3.
Drops down a couple hooks to the body. And rounds 4 and 5 now. Works that right hand, that jab that you're talking about, Bomac.
See how he set it up first with the jab? That's that good amateur pedigree that he got behind him. Well, he hurt him right there.
And he can sense it. Lozano trying to fight back. An overhand right by Greer. Greer with the big right cross. Lozano on the ropes. Greer measuring him. Taking aim, Lozano valiantly fighting back, catches a couple left hooks to the chin of Greer.
Yeah, Lozano landed a couple licks in there too with the left hand. What a chin.
Can't keep taking these right hands on top of the head. He's shaky on his legs.
You can almost tell this is the moment that Greer's been waiting for. He said, enough of that boxing stuff, let's fight.
Say, don't blink.
Well, Lozano just standing there. I don't know what is the point of that.
Gotta move.
He needs to move his feet and slide around to the left.
Well, it looked like he almost gave all he had to counteract that assault in the corner. And maybe he doesn't have much left in his legs with a minute to go here in round number 5.
And if you think you've seen all the Greer has had, you're mistaken, because he's in tremendous shape. So you're not going to get a rope-a-dope type situation trying to stand there thinking that he's punched himself out. Your best bet is try to move around a little bit, because he's eating every punch once he stands there.
He's having a good night tonight.
It's been about 30 seconds since Lozano threw his last punch.
Well, it's becoming target practice, and then the corner starts to really, try to think about the health of their fighter.
So when you go that long without throwing any punches, it's like every time I throw a punch, he hit me with 3 or 4 different punches. That's the speed of Greer.
Lozano with a couple of haymakers missing as Greer dodges. 15 seconds to go in round number 5 as Joshua Greer Jr. has dominated midway through this WBC Continental Americas title bout. These two bantamweight fighters as Greer putting on a show here in Corpus Christi. As you see the flurry by Joshua Greer, is there anything Lozano can do to adjust?
Well, he's getting hit with so many shots and power shots and speed shots. It really can't do anything with him, If Greer would have had another minute in that round, he probably would have got him out of there.
So if you're Lozano at this point, maybe you're just hoping for a lapse in the defense.
And keep trying to time him.
Timing is everything. So far, Greer has been on point.
See that little left hook by Lozano?
Let's go, baby, let's go. There you go, don't weather the storm.
Greer gets hit with the body shot and says, that's all you got? There's a good combination by Lozano.
Oh.
Spit flying from the mouth of Greer.
And you can tell that Lozano's got some skills. I mean, he has good punching ability. It's just that Greer's just a little too slick, but he's taken every punch that Greer's given him.
Really, the only wobble was on the ropes in round number 5.
Lozano can't keep getting hit with that 1-2 that Greer's throwing. He's measuring now. Where it is.
We mentioned Christina earlier, the great conditioning that Greer is in. That's what his corner yelling at him. Keep those feet moving. And he's done a good job on the defensive end as being elusive. As really, this is the first time early in the round 6 that we've seen Lozano land a combination of any significance. That speaks to the defensive speed and the quickness on the feet of Joshua Greer.
Yeah, the speed of Greer. And he might be taking his round off, or he's not that active this round as he was the last couple rounds.
And it's Benny the Bull is the Chicago mascot's name. Thank you, Seth Friederman, who's watching.
All he needed was the horns.
You got a Lakers fan over here, so I'm not too familiar with but you can even see it on the trunks there, so he's got the look and he's got the skills to back it up. I mean, that's one thing to come out looking all that, but you gotta back it up, and he's done it each and every minute of this fight.
Gets tagged with the 4-punch combination by Lozano there.
And just keeps coming forward.
Lozano with the left.
Catch and release.
He catch him. That was beautiful right there.
It seems like Greer, Mac, even in a round, he's maybe taken off. He's still going to that jab. Still going to that jab. Still trying to keep the discipline Round number 6 in the books. Joshua Greer Jr. sticks his tongue out and says, all right, maybe I gave you that one. Let's go.
No, but Lozano still comes back. He's smiling, too, every time he comes back to the corner. So, I mean, he's game, and he's been in, like you said, tough fights before. He's a former 2-time WBO Latino Junior Bantamweight champion. So, he's got some of that pedigree in there. It's just tonight, he's just in there against a fighter that's just a little bit better than he is.
A little faster, more experience.
Yes. But it only takes one punch to change everything, so let's not count out. He has 11 knockouts in 15
that's right.
fights.
And outside of the 1st and 5th round, he really hasn't wavered. He's gotten hit with big punches, but he stood in there and returned fire as best as he can. And you never know what the judges are looking at. You never know what they're scoring. Good straight right by Greer. And he pounces a couple of overhand rights to back it up. Across with the left, and Lozano stands at the middle of the ring just taking it.
What a chin on Lozano.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, how many of these shots can he take?
As many as he can to finish the fight.
I'm telling you, he's tough. And these are the kind of fights as you move up and you fight for these sister belts, the WBC Continentals America title, you're going to get this tougher opposition because they're to prime you to get ready for a world title fight where you're going to have to go the distance. You got to get these rounds in.
Greer crouching down, just toying with Lozano midway through the 7th.
Does have no answer.
Ooh, that left put Lozano on his heels. And a combination follows from Greer.
You know, a lot of these punches is fast. They don't have a lot of pop on them. But if you look at like the last 1 or 2 punches he throws, that's where the pop comes in.
Puts the exclamation point on.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that jab has been so effective. Downstairs, upstairs combination for Lozano. Back to the jab for Greer, snapping the neck. Back of Lozano.
Ooh, nice 1-2 by Greer. And he set all of this up off the jab. His slow jab, misdirection jab, fast jab.
He's landing it every time he throws it. Like if you're Lozano, make an adjustment.
And now Lozano, and he's down in the corner. Greer dances his way back to the red corner. Lozano quickly back up. First knockdown of the bout for Greer.
I think Greer gonna come in and finish him off.
7 seconds to go in the round. He might have to wait.
And here in Texas, no fighter can be saved by the bell.
I think they're calling the fight. They're calling the fight.
Are they?
Yep.
The corner?
Yep. The corner called it.
That's
Lozano has had enough. I don't think Greer knows it yet.
They just told him.
They just told him. So Daniel Lozano has had enough. He didn't quite go to sleep, but he took a knee, and that was enough in the 7th round for Joshua "Don't Blink" Greer Jr. to get his 19th victory of his career. The TKO at the end of 7.
I think that was a good decision by the corner.
Yeah, he didn't have anything for him.
I mean, you got to look out so your fighter can fight another day.
Lozano would have came back out the next round.
He would have. Of course he would, because he's a fighter through and through. But his corner did the right thing in stopping the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the blue corner informs referee Lee Rogers their fighter can no longer continue, obligating him to stop this contest prior to the start of round number 8, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout, and now the WBC Continental America's Bantamweight Champion, Don't Blink, Joshua Greer.
So Joshua Greer, the new WBC Continental America's title winner, stopped at the end of 7 as he defeats Daniel Lozano to move 19-1-1.